So the other guideline, yeah. So the 131 guideline is like info and relationships. So as per info and relationships, whatever the information that is provided visually, the same information also should be programmatically defined. Okay, which means whatever you visually see, you can visually see a edit field. Okay, whenever you navigate using the screen reader, okay, it should also call it out as a edit field only. And if you visually can able to see some label for that particular edit field, the same label has to be announced by the screen reader. If it is not announcing, then that is an issue. Okay, so if you feel something as a heading, so the same heading has to be defined programmatically also. Whenever I navigate using the screen reader, it has to announce that particular heading as heading only. And also there are levels in heading: h1, h2, h3, h4, something like that. Okay, so the main heading you call it as h1, and subheadings you will call it as h2, h3, h4, etc. Okay, for example, how many of you have done the major project and minor projects here? I assume everybody did, right? Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
more depends on your role. I mean, for me, I've been doing more like just minor.
Yeah, so whenever you are creating an abstract, so you will be following some structure for a document, right? Like all the h1, like so you'll be having the main heading, and after main heading, so whatever the subtopics that are there, you will be giving some different format and some different styling. And for that subtopics, if you have few more subtopics, then you will be decreasing the font size, and you will be changing the style also for that subheadings, right? Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
you're audible.
Yeah. So whenever we have these particular headings, so there will be h1 heading. After that, based on the topics, you will be having h2. And still, if that h2 heading should be categorized in few more things, then you will be categorizing it as h3, h4, something like that, right? For example, let me tell you something. Okay. For example, we are talking about fruits. Okay, fruits and vegetables. Okay, so what are these fruits and vegetables? We can call it as vegetarian food. This we can give it as a h1. Under this vegetarian food, again you have two topics, correct? Fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables. Okay, so again, these fruits can be divided into two parts, correct? Seeded, non-seeded, or seasonal fruits and non-seasonal fruits, correct? So in the same way, vegetables also can be categorized, like something like uh, so how can the vegetables can be categorized? Any idea?
Greens.
Green leafy vegetables and other non-leafy vegetables.
Yes.
So if you are going by a topic, then this will become h1. Okay, so these two will become h2. These both fruits and vegetables will become h2. Why? Because this is the main topic. This main topic is segregated into subtopic. Again, these subtopics are again categorized into few more categories. Then this will become h3. So this also will become h3. This also will become h3. Again, this also will become h3. So this is what hierarchical order means. So in the same way, whenever you see any document, so web page is also nothing but a web document. If you see the web page structure, here you will get like, sorry, doc type is called HTML. Okay, so this web page is also nothing but a document which is in HTML format. So it also should follow the hierarchy of headings. So each and every page should have one H1 heading. Okay, so depending on the content and the context, remaining headings should be segregated or should be available. Okay, so if you observe this page, pretty much like there is no subtopics that are there. So the everything is some different topics that are there here. So only one main heading should be there, which is nothing but the home page or something like that should be there. One H1 should be there. So why headings are required? So if headings are not available, uh, screen reader users will not able to understand the structure of the page. So if the page is like this, and if you have segregated in this way, then the screen reader users will first press H, the focus will come to this veg food. Then it can be whenever they press the H again, it will go to the H2 headings, which is fruits and vegetables. So they will understand the structure of the page, and also they can able to navigate easily from one part to another part. See, in such a big page, if you see this page, this is like quite a long page. Okay, if headings are not defined, then it will be very hard for the screen reader user to navigate from one region to one part to another part. So they need to unnecessarily navigate all these elements in order to come here. Okay, if you observe, so this is a heading, this looks like a heading, this also looks like a heading, this also looks like a heading. Okay, if you come down, so this is pretty much in the page document format. So this is heading, and this is the heading related topic, this is heading related topic. So visually these looks like headings, correct? So this is so here they're talking about visa offerings. So what all visa offerings that they are holding, they have mentioned here.
But we are
Okay,
not
which
able to
means,
see your screen.
oh, is it let me reshare it. Could you please confirm whether you can able to see the screen?
Yeah, your screen is visible too.
Okay. So
I
anybody is
don't know.
facing the same issue?
So I'm able to see it.
Yeah. So like that. So this also looks like a heading. So similarly, whenever there are headings that are available in the page, that programmatically also should be defined as headings. If it is not programmatically defined as headings, and whatever the headings that are there, they are not programmatically defined, that is also an issue. So the normal text, this is the normal text, correct? This is not the heading. So this normal text is also defined as a heading, then that is also an issue. And if the hierarchical order is not correct, then that is also an issue. Okay, based on the page and based on the context, as a tester, that you need to take the decision. So which best suits as a H1, and what are the subtopics that are available in this page, and which can be defined as H2, H3. So something like that. Okay, so if you see this page, so let me check very quickly. So what is the headings that they have defined here? Okay, structure.
Yeah, Shankar, here the heading hierarchy need to be from H1 to H6, right?
Yes, H1 to H6. So it should be in the incremental order, but need not necessarily like after H2 there should be only H3. So it depends on the page and the context. See, for example, in our previous example, so see here the fruits, we have fruits. Okay, we have segregated into H3, H3. So here also, if you have the subtopic and you have H4, but this vegetables doesn't have any topic. Okay, so obviously it will not be having H4, right? So whenever you are seeing as a document, what you will be doing, this one you will be keeping as H1. After H1 you will be keeping these fruits, and after fruits you will be keeping H3. Then after H3 you will be giving H4. So this topic is completed, then again vegetables topic is starting, so you will be keeping H2 again after H4. So that is not an issue because the topic is changing here. So the heading, whatever the heading that is required, that you are providing there, that is not an issue. But if the headings are missing, like from H2 it is directly jumping to H4, that is an issue. Okay, without H1, if they are directly declaring H2, that is also an issue. So it should follow the hierarchy, but based on the context, you need to take the decision whether it is an issue or not an issue. Okay, if the topic is changing and they're declaring it as H2 or H3 depending on the topic, then that is perfectly fine. For example, see, if you see this one, as per me this is H2. Okay, so they have defined it as H3, but there is no H2. Yeah, so this is H2 heading, experience flying with our airline partners. So this download now related to this heading? No, correct. This is entirely complete different topic, and this is different topic. So this is an issue. As per me, this also should be defined in H2 because this is talking about app download. This entire part is talking about, sorry, this entire part is talking about the experience flying in their airline partners. Okay, so the entire topic here is talking about the same thing. But this download now, they have declared it in the heading level 3, which is not correct. This also should be defined as H2 because it is changing the topic. So like that, based on the context and based on the content that is available, you need to take the decision. Okay, ultimately you can suggest to the developer, but you can't say like this is the only thing. Okay, so you will be logging the bug saying like, see, this is not correct, this is not in the hierarchical order, or it is not in the correct structure. Ultimately the product owner and the developer will take the decision. So what needs to be done there? Okay, so if you see, this is also a heading. As per me, it should be defined in H2, but it is not defined as a heading. So this is an issue. So similarly, this one also, it is not defined as a heading. So this is also an issue. So all these should be defined in heading. So all these are not defined in heading. So you can see hardly there are only 6 headings in the complete page. So like that structure. So whatever you visually see, so the same thing should be programmatically also defined. Okay, this is not only limited to headings. There are a lot of things that are available in this particular guideline. Okay, this is one of the biggest guideline that we have in the guidelines. Okay, so if you see, so one is about the headings and also the list. So lists are of two types. Okay, ordered list and unordered list. Ordered list means you will be having 1, 2, 3. Okay, so unordered list means you will be having the bullets, which means it does not require to be provided in any specific order. Unordered list. Ordered list means it need to be provided in the specific order, 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, you have a cake baking process. Okay, so in that cake baking process, there will be steps. Break the eggs, mix it well. So something like that. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. This is ordered list. So it need to be kept in the same order and it should follow the same process. The same order. If you are following, like if you are executing first step and then you are going to fourth or third, it does not work in that way. Okay, but ordered list is not like that. It is a generic list. Unordered list is a generic list, so it will be provided in the bullet formats. Okay, so like that, there are ordered list and unordered list. Whenever you find those lists here, it should be defined in the list and also programmatically defined in the same way. Okay, so the list elements can be defined under ordered list or unordered list. If they are providing in directly in the dev or directly in the such some kind of sections, then that is not valid. Okay, so how to identify that issue? Pretty much you don't need to do more things here. So all those issues can be identified in this axe tool. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, you will not be going to review the code because you are the tester. Like you will be testing it in the user perspective. So whenever the screen reader focus goes there to that particular list, it has to announce them very specifically. This is the one you are going through is a list, and it is a ordered list, and it is a unordered list. Something like that. It has to give the specific information to the user. If it is announcing bullet or 1, 2, 3, the user can able to understand that information. In the same way, it has to specifically call out it as a list. If it is not calling out it as a list, then that is an issue. So how you can able to identify that issue? Whenever you are navigating to the screen reader, like that also you can able to identify that issue. Or else here, whenever you run the axe tool, here also you can able to identify those kind of issues. So right now, I think that issue is not there. So it is, yeah. So thank God we got that issue. UL and OL must only directly contain LI and list elements. Okay. So where is that? Okay. Okay. Sorry. I will rescan it. We have that issue. Okay. Yeah. So these are all defined in list, but it is not defined in URL or OL. Okay. So you can log the bug. So it will be identified here. So obviously, if it is identifying some issue in the Axe tool, whenever you run the screen reader, it will not behave in the expected way. Okay. So this is about the list, and you have tables and landmarks. Okay. So there are something called landmarks. Okay. See, okay. If you see this website, what you will call this region as? So if you have to say somebody like the language selection is available in this particular part, what you will say? Header, right? So in the header part, you will be having the right top right corner. You will be having the language selection, and if you want to call it as this one, you will be calling it as footer. Okay, let's take the example as letter. Okay, so we know the letters, right? Electronic letters or normal letters, you take anything. So what all parts you have in the letter? There is a header. So in the header, you will be writing from and to address, and there is a body, and there is a footer. Footer, you will be pretty much signing there. Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
Yes,
Shankar,
sir.
what was the question?
Okay. So letters, basically, whenever you have a letter, so what are
Yeah,
the three parts of that letter? So there will be a header, there will be a body, and there will be a footer, right? So
yeah,
header, so there are some conditions. In the header, you need to write from address and to address. In the body, you need to write the actual message. In the footer, you will be signing it off, correct? So whatever the sign that you have, you will be keeping like thanks or something like that, and you will be writing your name, correct? So in the
right.
same way, for a web page also have some structure. Okay, so that we call it as landmarks. So these landmarks will be useful for screen reader users again for the same purpose. Like what is the purpose of headings? The same purpose is there for landmarks also. It will not be visible to us normally, but programmatically it should be defined. So as soon as I see, I feel this as a header section and this as a main part. So my main part is there here, and this entire thing is footer. So if, for example, if I am changing some hotels or something like that, okay. So the only main part will change here, correct? So the header and footer will be pretty much same. So whatever, whenever you change some pages and whatever is changing, that is the main part. The whatever it is changing, you call it as a main part, and whatever it is staying still in the top, you call it as a header, and whatever it is staying still in the footer, you call it as a footer. Okay. So there are some landmarks which are mandatory. Okay, so if there is a search option that is provided, so search landmark should be provided, and whatever the navigational links that are there, if the navigational links for the pages that are there, then navigational landmark should be defined. So for each and every page, if the page has a header, so header should be defined. So in some websites, there will be header, but there will be no controls or nothing will be provided. So they will be directly starting the content in the main content. In that situations, header is not required. In some situations, the footer will not be available, so they will end it with the main content. So there also footer is not required. So, but main content is must and should for each and every web page. So the suggested landmarks are header, main, footer, and navigation landmark, obviously, because each and every application will have the navigational links. So these are known as navigational links. Okay, so which will help us from now to navigate from one page to another page. That we call it as navigational links. So in this situation, also navigational landmark should be provided. And if there is a form field, for example, if you are logging in, here you will be giving the account details, right? So wherever there are form fields, you need to define that in the form field region. Okay. So similarly, if there is a search option that is provided, so you need to provide search landmark. So somebody is asking, menu bar is equal to navigation links. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Menu bars are kind of navigational links. So so how can we differentiate navigation links? So that will be pretty much available in all the pages. The moment you change, so if you see, these are available in all the pages. The only the below part of content is changing, and this is staying still, and it is highlighted. So whichever is currently active, it is highlighted here. So in this situation, these are the navigational links, which will help us to navigate from one page to another page. So kind of menu bar are also kind of navigational links. So that content should be, only that content should be defined in navigational landmark. Okay, so I can type in the chat. Header, main, footer, header, main, footer, navigation from search, and region landmarks also. So these are all the main landmarks that we have actually. So region is nothing but, so in the same page, if you have some content and some different content is available, then those contents alone will be defined in region landmarks. So this region landmarks can be used inside main landmarks, which means from here there is a main landmark. So you can define pretty much everything in main landmark from here to here. But if you see, this part is about offers, and this part is about some caps or some different content. Okay, so in the same page there are two different contents. So under the one main landmark, you can again define two region landmarks. Okay, yeah, header or banner both are same. Header landmark or banner landmark both are same. So yeah. So region, so you can define this one as one region, and you can define this as one region. But if you are using two region landmarks, then obviously the name should be distinct. Okay, you should be able to differentiate one landmark region with another landmark region. Okay, I will show you that also. I know like it will be overwhelming if I am just explaining the concept. So here, if you observe, here we have the structure, and here you have the landmarks. So this entire page has 4 landmarks. What are landmarks they have defined? So one is main landmark, you can see. So one is navigation landmark. If you see this one, they have defined it as navigation landmark, because these are the navigational links which will help the user to navigate from one page to another page. Okay, after that they have defined main landmark. So yeah, from here they have defined main landmark till here. Then they have defined footer landmark. So this is footer pretty much. Okay, you can see these lines. Okay, so pretty much this is footer. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, only 3 landmarks they have defined. I don't know why it is showing 4 here. So page has more than one title tag. Okay, this is altogether a different issue. Okay. So yeah, so header landmark is not defined, but this page required header. So if you observe from here to here, the content is pretty much not changing. So at least that part should be defined under header landmark or banner landmark. Okay, so that is the issue in this particular page. So how the screen reader user will be getting benefited? So if I open NVDA, whenever I'm navigating, so there are shortcut keys for each and everything. Okay, if you need to navigate to headings, I can press H. Okay, if you can see here, it is announcing. So I have turned off the NVDA mic. No worries. Okay, so if you are turning on the volume, so whatever pretty much it is typing, like it is displayed over there, the same thing will be announced by the screen reader. Okay, so it will be like a crosstalk, like whenever I am speaking it will be like a crosstalk. So I just muted the NVDA, and I have displayed that NVIDIA speech viewer. So pretty much whatever it is displayed over there, the same thing will be announced there to the blind users. Okay, so if I press H again, it will go to the another heading. Okay, so like this the user will navigate from quickly from one heading to another heading. When it comes to regions, in the same way, they will use the D key for navigating to the landmarks. If I press D, see it came to main landmark. If I press D, shift D again, it came to navigational landmark. No previous landmarks. So there are no other landmarks. So if I had to quickly move to the main, okay, now I'm currently in the navigation landmark. If I quickly want to move to the main, now I'm in main region. If I press tab, my focus will come to the main part. So like that they will be easily navigating if they are providing landmarks. If they are not providing landmarks, obviously they can't able to navigate between one section to another section. And in the same way, if they are providing more than one landmark with the same thing, like for example, as I mentioned earlier, there are region landmarks. If they are providing more than one region landmark, then obviously it should have the distinct name. And also sometimes navigational landmarks will be more than one. So if they are defining more than one landmark, navigational landmark, then also they need to give the specific name for that navigation landmark, like main navigation landmark, or something like that. So there should be some difference between one landmark to another landmark. Okay. So any questions here, team, till here?
Yeah, I think you answered my last question, So I was thinking, can you have more than one landmark, like more, like for example, if you have two header regions, like a main menu and sub menu.
So
can
main
we
cannot be more than one. There is a strict rule. Main can be only one. That follows for header and footer. See, if you take any page, okay, so there are some conditions. Okay, let me give you that conditions as well. Okay. Not this one. I will give you the best link. Not this one. Yeah. So here you have pretty much all the landmarks. So here they will give you all the context. Okay. Each page should contain only one main landmark. Main landmark can be only one. So forms can be more than one. Content info, as I mentioned, content info also should be one, and banner also should be only one. Okay. Only these three things should be one, but remaining all the guidelines can be more than one. Okay, landmarks can be more than one, but whenever you have more than one landmark with the same thing, it should be it should have the distinct name actually. Okay, any other questions, team?
Yeah, for example, if you have two header regions, like the main header, right, with the menu, and then
No.
let's
So
say
if you,
below that
even though you have
somewhere.
two headers, the entire part should be considered as one, and the entire two headings should be combined in one landmark.
Okay.
So obviously that's what the header means, right? The header will not change even though you change the pages. That is only you calling that as header. So if it is not changing, if it also structurally has two different parts, you can combine both the parts in one region, right?
Yeah, but if you have like H1 as a main header,
So
so we
that's
have
the
like
reason the
different.
navigational links will come to the picture, Ravi. I
So
got
there
your
we.
question. So if the user want to navigate to the first header or second header, so it will be easy for them, right? So that's what you are asking. Like I got that sense. Okay, so if that is the case, you define navigational landmarks inside header landmark. Header landmark can be one. You define only one header landmark. Under that header landmark, you define region landmarks or navigation landmarks depending on the context.
Okay, yeah. So there's a separate for for H2s, H3s and all. There's a separate like navigational
Correct.
Landmark. Okay.
So like that, we can able to define the landmarks. Okay. So after that, there are tables. Okay. So this is like, as I mentioned, like 131. You will be you need to check a lot of things here. Okay, so tables, so whenever there is a table, obviously, so that whether the table has the proper structure or not, so whether it is having the name, it is having a short summary, if it is having the header, and whenever it is sorting, whether it is announcing that sorting information. So pretty much we will be checking each and everything whenever it comes to the headings. Okay, so headings also I will show you the this thing. Okay, okay, so these are the different types of tables that we have. Okay, we can practice here. If you run the screen reader, you can able to understand the difference between each and every table. If the table has two rows and one row and one column headers. Okay, so the headers are in uh, one row also, or the headers, and this also the headers. So in that situation, okay, so what should be the case? So it should have th should be defined for all the header rows. If you observe, th for all the headers, they are defined in th. Even whenever there is a columns, so that also defined in th. And all the cells, whatever the values that are there in a table, it should be defined in th and td. Okay, and whenever you run the screen reader, so it has to announce the table name. So table name, how many columns that are there, how many rows that are there, so what is the current screen reader position. It has to announce all those information, pretty much all the information to the user. If it is having only one header or multiple header rows, so something like, one second, let me open this one. Yeah. So if there are any tables with multiple row header, only single row column headers will be there, single row headers will be there. So there are different types of tables here. So okay, so I will show you one table how we can able to navigate. Okay, so you guys please go ahead and practice once in this table. You can able to understand pretty much about the tables. Okay, so whenever there is a table, you need to open the screen reader. Okay, and you need to press the shortcut key T is for tables. Okay, and you need to understand what it is announcing. First of all, it has to announce the table name. So table summary, it has to announce what is table summary. Table summary contains table name plus number of rows plus number of columns plus what is the current position of the cursor. So it has to announce all this information. Okay, so for example, my focus is currently here. I'm just pressing the T key. If I press the T, you can able to see here main landmark TV listing with both column and row headers table. Okay, so that is the name of the table. Okay, so TV listing with both column and row header table with 5 rows and 7 columns. TV listing with both column and row headers. Okay, so there are 5 rows and 7 columns. If you observe, how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. This is how it has to announce. So most of the cases, it will not announce the table name. It will be just announcing as table with 5 rows and 7 columns, something like that. Okay. So it should not announce in that way. And also there are some shortcut keys to navigate inside the table. Those are Control, Alt, arrow keys. So once I press the T, second, give me a second, please. Okay, now my focus is on the table. Okay, so this first table. So what I'm doing, I'm pressing Control, Alt, and right arrow. Not in a cell. Not in a cell. Why it is saying not in a cell? Okay, so yeah, Control Alt, right arrow. So it is in column 4, 9 p.m. The focus is here. Okay, column 4, 9 p.m. So if I'm pressing right, column 5, 9:30 p.m. Column 6, 10 p.m. So column 7, 10:30 p.m. If I press down arrow, so ABC row. So see, you can able to observe it is announcing row header. ABC is the row header. Okay, ABC row header. Row 2, 10 p.m. Column 6 through column 7. How to get away with murder. Okay. So pretty much it is announcing the appropriate information. It is announcing the column information. ABC is the row information. It is announcing column information. Also, it is announcing what it is announcing. 10 p.m. column 6 through 7. So which means it is a merged cell. So that's the reason it is announcing column 6 through column 7. If it is a single cell, it will only announce that column information. So whatever the change that is there, it will announce that information. For example, if I am pressing down arrow now, it will not announce all the information because the only change is like row. Only row is changed here. Pretty much 10 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. is common. So if I press the down arrow again, it will announce only that information. If I press left arrow, so pretty much rows and so the row is same here. Only the column is changing. Correct. So what it is announcing 9 p.m. column 4 through column 5 grace point. So like that. So it will be announcing, it should be announcing pretty much relevant information whenever you are navigating through the screen reader. If this relevancy is not there, or this table header association is not there, and if it is not announcing the table name, so all these are issues. So you need to log the bug as per that. So whatever the issue that is there, the table name is not announced, that is an issue. You need to log the bug. The row header association is not there, so that is an issue. You need to log the bug. You can't able to navigate inside the table, that is also an issue. If the row column header association is not good, then only such kind of issues will be observed. Okay, so you need to log the bug. So like that, whatever the things that are not good, you need to log the bug whenever you are trying to navigate. So this is the behavior. If the behavior is not happening properly, you need to log the bug. Any questions here, team? So I think you can pretty much navigate through these things. You will be getting some idea like what are tables and how it should be announced. So we have provided like pretty much here, right? Like so what will be announced. So how it will be announced. The pretty much the notes will be available here. So this is for JAS. No worries. Pretty much it will work with NVDA also. So JAS is also one of the screen reader. Okay, same like NVDA. Any questions here, team?
It's keyboard shortcut on the screen. We have to remember, right?
Yes, obviously. Like, see, if you start working on it, obviously you will remember everything. So, and also it is like not very distinct. Okay, so whatever the see, if it is a landmark, only landmark, it will be D or R. Okay, if it is a headings start with H, right? So you need to press H. Tables start with T, so it will be T. Buttons, it will start with B, so you need to use B. So pretty much it will be somewhat similar, Mahira.
Okay, thank you so much.
So it is easy to remember also. That is not at all an issue. But it is not an issue, right? Like you can try pretty much all the streams, all the keys. So
Yeah.
nobody is stopping you from using that keys, right? Like, so if
Yeah.
it's not working for one key, it should work for another key. So something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
graph,
Yeah.
it is G. So something like that. Okay. So there are shortcut keys so I will be sharing that as well. Okay. So I think this guideline took us one complete session. Okay, no worries. So I hope you guys understand pretty much. Okay, but I think we have some more things like legend concept, and there are some more concepts here that I think we can go like we can come back tomorrow for the same guideline. So as of now, so far whatever we have discussed, any questions here?
Yeah, Shankar, just one quick question. Do you have some links or what all we should download, like NVDA, like Axe, and where we should download from?
Yes, I will give you that, Ravi. See, right now that is not required as of now. Okay. So our main agenda right now is like we will go through the guidelines and we will understand the guidelines more. Okay. So then at the end of this session, see if you see our this thing, I don't know where. I don't know. It's like we in the page we have given very clearly the detailed plan actually. Okay. So at the end of this session, like once we complete discussing about all these guidelines, so you see, if you need to use the tool, you need to understand the guidelines. So it is not like if you know the tool, you can go ahead and test it. First, you need to understand the guidelines. Then only you can play with the tools. So our main concentration right now is like we will understand the guidelines, then we will go ahead and do how to play with the tools. Uh,
Right. Or we can just Google and find out
yeah,
of
yeah, yes, yeah.
NVDA
So
or
I can
Axe.
provide that links. That is not a problem. Like I can
Yeah.
spend one day, like we will spend one day installing all those tools, everything pretty much. Okay, so that is not at all an issue.
Okay,
Any,
thank you.
yeah, any questions, team? I think we can wrap up the session for today. We will continue tomorrow.
Okay.